back, everybody, to Amy's Art Table. Today we're going to work on this coral watercolor, and I'm going to show you how I did this, and it's pretty fun, so we'll get started. So if you have purchased the kit, then you will have these nice little wax paper cutouts. I'm using these as the base of my coral, so I'm just going to lay them a little bit overlapping on my watercolor paper. And if you did not purchase the kit, all that you would need to do is grab some wax paper from the kitchen and cut out these nice coral finger type shapes that you can place on your paper. So this is going to be a resist watercolor, so when we paint over the wax paper, the paint should leave us a little bit of blank white space, which is kind of a fun way to give yourself an outline and a guide to paint something. You could cut out anything out of wax paper and use it as a guide. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is going to take a large brush, medium to large brush, and I am going to hold on to the wax paper. It might move a bit, but I'm going to just start painting some water so that we can work on the ocean. In this painting, I did not paint right up to the edge, so I'm going to do this in this painting as well. The cool thing is when you start painting water on the wax paper, it'll also kind of hold it into place. So that way you can sort of pick where you want these guys to be and have them stay. So going to continue to paint some water so we can get a nice blend for our ocean. I'm painting most of my page. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is grab a smaller brush, smaller medium brush. We'll use this one, and I'm going to start dropping in blues and all different colors of blue. So let's start with this lighter blue here. So I really want to just start making some blending ocean by just dropping in blues around the wax paper. Okay. And I'm really just going to use this technique with all sorts of different blues and a little bit of purple and greens to make just a really nice ocean. So you can start working on that too. You just kind of put these colors where you think they would blend well. I love ocean colors. Do a little unexpected purple. Put some purple up here. This is pretty easy and kind of fun. Hopefully relaxing. All right, so now once we have a nice ocean blend, we will let this dry. I feel like we got covered this pretty well. A little bit dark blue. Oops. A little hair on my picture. Add some darker. All right, so it looks like a nice blend. So we will go ahead and let that dry. It should take about 20 minutes. If you want to speed it up, you could go set it in the sun as well. Now that our watercolors had a chance to mostly dry, I'm going to carefully lift up the wax paper, and we should have some unpainted space underneath. All right, so it should look something like this, and this is going to give us a base for our coral, our underwater ocean coral. So I'm going to grab a brush. Now you can do this with watercolor or acrylic. If you bought the kit, you will have acrylic in your kit. You'll have acrylic both for your surfboard and for the coral project. And we're gonna start out with the coral color for the coral project. So I'm gonna grab some of that on my brush. And to make this coral texture, I'm just going to blot. So blotting is just another way of making sort of messy dots on our paper. So I'm gonna just blot in the shape of the white space that we've created. We don't have to fill up all the space. We can leave some blank spaces. Just blot, blot, blot. All right, so now we'll rinse our brush out. And next we're just gonna add a bit of pink and red at the edges. So I'll start with the pink, and the pink can kind of follow the edge, but it does not have to be an outline. It's going to be not too messy either, but it's going to be sort of bumpy, like coral. Just kind of think about a piece of coral is really rough. It doesn't have a smooth edge. So we are just going to add some more depth to this picture. When we add contrast, different colors and different shades of color, then our painting really starts to come to life. So that's what we're doing now. Okay, so I sort of just traced the coral, but I did not do a perfect job. I did it messy. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. sort of be messy, maybe bigger dots, smaller dots. I'm just gonna trace the edge of the coral. If you need help thinking about what coral looks like, you can have your parent look it up for you, or look in an encyclopedia or a National Geographic, some sort of an ocean book. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm gonna do my final touch, which is gonna be really easy, and I'm just gonna do the same thing with red, but I'm not going to do as much as I did of the pink. So I'm just gonna add a little shade with the red. And people always ask me, does it matter where you put it? Not really. You can think of the light coming in one direction. So as I'm looking at the coral, I'm going to think of the light coming in this direction from the right top. So it's going to light up the coral, and then the red is going to signify that this part is sort of in shadow. Okay? So it's just a fun way to break up the painting. It doesn't actually really matter quite where you place it. Just trying to give some shape. And so I'm blotting, but I'm also like connecting these dots. And you can leave some apart. Pretty much it. So that's a fun little way to make coral, and I hope you enjoyed it. Check back this summer and we'll be adding more videos, but now you know a new trick with wax paper. So you can use wax paper to explore mountains and leaves and flowers and different ocean items, shells, and have a great time. Thanks for joining today.